The call came at 02:17. My sat phone vibrated against the concrete floor of the outpost like a rattlesnake. "Delta 3, I said. Static. Then the FBI's voice, flat and brittle. "A trafficking ring took your sister. They sent us her blood to prove it. We're sorry." I stared at the wall while a mortar thumped in the distance. The desert smelled of cordite and burned tires. My colonel didn't blink. "You have a 48-hour furlough," he said. "Erase them. 15 members, 48 hours. Just over 3 hours per soul. More than enough." I shut the phone, my pulse a quiet drumbeat. The men around me pretended not to hear. Everyone in the room understood something had shifted. The transport plane took me back over black water, and I rehearsed every known face of the ring. Their names were burned into the back of my eyelids. But beneath the tactical chatter, another thought gnawed at me. My sister wasn't random prey. She lived low, stayed invisible. Someone had pointed her out. Someone who knew exactly which vein to open to reach me. I remembered her last call months ago, her voice low. "If anything happens to me, don't trust anyone close." I'd laughed it off, thinking she was drunk. Now that line replayed in my skull like a coded warning. Don't trust anyone close. I landed, eyes dry, hands steady. From the outside, I looked like a man in motion. Inside, I was a fault line about to crack. I didn't storm into rooms. I listened. I sifted. I found the soft seams between people's lies. First, I hacked into the FBI packet they sent me. Photos of the crime scene, GPS pings, wire transfers. Something stank. A particular account. One I recognized but didn't want to. It led not to the ring's known hubs, but to a private security consultancy, one run by my own mentor from Delta, Major Ellis. I called in favors from old signals guys. They slipped me call logs, metadata, suppressed evidence. Every breadcrumb led back to the same source. Someone inside our world had sold her out, trading my sister for a contract payout. It wasn't just a ring of strangers, it was a ring with an insider. Someone who wanted me off the chessboard, someone who understood the cost of drawing blood from my family. Each revelation cooled me further. The colder I got, the sharper I became. At 03:00 on the second night, I confronted Ellis. No theatrics, no threats. Just a file slid across his mahogany desk. Emails, money transfers, photos of my sister bound in a van marked with his company's logo. He tried to talk, but I held up a finger. "I don't need explanations," I said. "I need the location." His eyes flicked to the panic button under the desk. I smiled without humor. Already disabled. He gave me the coordinates. I wrote them down slowly, each number an incision. The truth wasn't a blow. It was an anesthesia wearing off. I'd suspected him since I saw that account, but seeing his signature on the transfer stripped the last layer of illusion from my life. Ellis, the man who trained me to compartmentalize, had sold my sister to traffickers for a contract. I didn't kill him. That would have been too kind. Instead, I'd already rerouted every cent of his assets to the same traffickers' rivals, people who didn't forgive debts. I'd left a packet of evidence with a journalist whose entire career thrived on exposing military contractors. By dawn, Ellis's face would be plastered across every network as the architect of a trafficking pipeline. He sat there as the news alert pinged his phone. His expression folded in on itself, disbelief, then terror. "My sister?" I asked. "She's at the docks," he whispered. "Container 47. I stood. "Good. You get to live long enough to watch the walls close in." As I walked out, his trembling hands reached for me like a drowning man. I didn't look back. The docks were empty but for the gulls and the stink of diesel. I found her in the container, dazed but alive, wrists cut, eyes hollow. I wrapped her in a blanket and led her out into the night. She didn't ask questions, she just leaned on me, weightless. Somewhere in the city, Ellis's empire was collapsing in real time. Warrants, frozen accounts, former allies turning on him. By evening, he'd be as hunted as the men he sold her to. I didn't feel satisfaction. I didn't feel rage. Only a clean vacancy where both used to be. I looked at my sister. "It's over," I said, though I knew it wasn't. Not really. You don't erase blood like that. You just redistribute it. But I'd accomplished what mattered. She was alive, and the betrayal had been exposed without a single bullet fired from my hand. As the sun bled over the water, I felt something shift inside me. Not forgiveness, not healing, just a finality so deep it rang like steel. I'd been given 48 hours to erase 15 souls. Instead, I erased one man's life from the inside out. And that was enough.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.